So good evening, all of you. Here I am Manjusha Bhaskarwar from Born Debut. Born Debut every Saturday comes with one faculty who will help students, aspirants, and even employees to understand career options, career opportunities, and how to groom self with communication skills. Because we provide communication skills every Sunday, and even we provide career counseling, corporate training in basically soft skills. We are working in this area from last 20 years, from right from children, and now we are working with corporates, NTPC, ONGC, Jindal Power. Now today, why we are here? We are here with worries in IT sector, latest pandemic situation we all are facing. So I think Uday Bhaskarwar, today's guest, will be very good help for such IT people who are really in worries and even how to develop their skills. Even 10th and 12th results are out. Children are in worries. So I think Uday Bhaskarwar will better guide them how they can develop their IQ, EQ, thinking with thinking heart, right? So here I will introduce today's guest, Mr. Uday Bhaskarwar. He is a group CEO of iLink Digital and member of board from Thinking Heart. Good package. This is the only thing students carries in their mind. And career path. A career path is rarely a path at all. A more interesting life is usual a more crooked, winding path of missteps, luck, and vigorous work. It is almost always a clumsy balance between the things you try to make happen and the things that happen you. Welcome to all of you, the guests, all the present here from different areas, different cities, from different professions. And here I will request Uday Bhaskarwar, who has achieved plenty of awards from in Infosys that I know about him. In Infosys, he was VP, and at that time, he left that job to start his own thought process with Thinking Hut and started thought process with completing a beautiful book on fiction stories, I think so, and even adventurous in nature. So has experienced Himalayan rally and many other things he knows, and I think he will be the right person to explain everything. And even after his speech we will go with question answers, so whatever the queries and things you have in mind, you just be ready with that. And after the speech of Uday Bhaskarwar, we will interact with him with all your queries and questions. Thank you, and Uday Bhaskarwar, you can start.
Thanks, Manjusha ji. I hope all of you can hear me. So this is, I've kept this, since this was an open session, I have kept it very, very generic, right? So this is typically meant for people who are either studying engineering at this point of time or are fresh graduates or are new into their career, right? So these are those, so basically it's meant for people who are young and who have just started career or are going to start their career, right? This is not meant for people who are well entrenched in the IT industry and who have spent a lot of years there. So if there are some questions, so session is actually focused to towards younger people. But if there are some questions that if some senior people have, I'll be happy to answer those questions to the extent possible. So I hope you can see my screen.
We are able to see.
Okay. Yeah. So so before we talk about the career options in IT, I think let's talk about how is the IT industry doing in itself, right? There have been a lot of questions asked. There have been a lot of worries and so on and so forth in terms of how the IT industry is going. And I will start this session with a famous quote by none other than Isaac Newton, which says like, what goes up must come down. Obviously, Newton said this in the context of gravity, but this is a saying or cliche which has been used many times over, which talks about everything, people or companies or phenomena and things like that, right? So does this apply to the IT industry too? Right? I think that is the most basic question that anyone who is getting into this industry today will have. So let's look at some of the data points that we have at this point of time, right? So if you look at the revenues, the top left graph is the revenue which talks about how much money is being generated by IT industry at this point of time. This is last year's data, but I'm sure this year's data will be higher than this. So as you can see, the graph shows that the revenues have gone up consistently over the period. If you look at the number of people employed by IT industry directly and indirectly, it has again gone up, year by year, right? So if you look at this number, financial year 2017, number of people employed were around 38 lakh by whole of IT industry, and that number has of course gone up at this point of time. If you look at the newer industries or the startups where the investments are happening and things like that, again, if you look at it, the number of investments have gone up and the amount has also gone up over a period. And all of us have seen in last 3.5 months that this industry is also COVID-19 resistant. I have not said COVID-19 proof, because definitely there is an impact of all the slowdown which is happening in various other industries on IT industry as well, because at the end of the day, IT industry serves other industries. But having said that, the impact is much lower than the impact that we have seen on other industries, right? So, just before starting this session, we were speaking informally that most of our people were able to start working from home immediately, right? And this is not the case only for my company, but for most of the companies, people started working from home, and there has not been too much of productivity loss. So this is what the data says. So data is, very positive, I would say. But now the question is, there are two questions, right? The first question is, will the growth continue? There are two answers to that. One is yes, and one is no. And I will park this question at this point of time. What is this? Park this question at this point of time. I'll answer this question in the later part of the session. But what I can tell you, that the revenue will keep going up. Number of people employed will keep going up, at least for foreseeable future, but in a different way. So I'll try to answer that question in a slightly different way in a later part of the session, as I said. The second question is that if there is growth, why isn't everyone getting a job, right? It is a well-known fact that if you are from a premium institute, or if you're doing well in your academics and things like that, maybe you will get a job, but all other people, a lot of people who actually struggle while entering the IT industry. Right. So now, what is the reason for that? The reason is that today there are 10 lakh engineering seats throughout India. Right. This number might have gone up, down in last couple of years, but it is around this number. Out of which 50% of the seats are related to software and IT. So it could be computer engineering, it could be IT engineering, electronics. Electronics I'm considering as part of the streams where people can get into IT industry easily. So at least half the seats are related to software and IT, right? And then there are only 2 to 3 lakh jobs every year, right? So essentially, definitely there is a huge gap between the number of people who are getting produced, and I'm talking about only engineers here, right? There are people who are doing masters, there are people who are doing MCA, and there are a lot of other degrees which are like IT related, which are being done by people at this point of time. So this number of people who are actually becoming available for IT industry is much higher than what IT industry can consume. Essentially, that's the answer, and that is one of part of the question answer in terms of why everyone is not getting the job. Right now, who are the people who are getting jobs? Right. So one, I said, okay, people from premium institutes are getting jobs. There, it's slightly easier for them. But apart from that, there is one more thing which is playing at this point of time, which is called employability. Right. Now, if you believe NASSCOM's data, what NASSCOM says that only around 20% of the people who are becoming engineers or graduates today are employable in the IT industry. Now, if you believe a study by Aspiring Minds, and it might be a little biased also, if you believe Aspiring Minds, only 2% of the people are employable. Now, what is the reason, right? Now, as a person who is spending 4 years doing a degree, 4 years spending a lot of effort, energy, money doing engineering, comes out and then he's told that actually he is not employable. What's the reason for that, right? The reason for that is that there is a expectation chasm, right? There is a gap between what industry wants and what academia provides, right? So what academia provides is a degree. What industry wants apart from a degree is these things, right? They expect soft skills, which includes, attitude, aptitude, communication, and so on and so forth. They expect life skills. So they expect you to be able to, handle pressure. They expect you to be able to, handle the grills of the IT industry, work hard, and so on and so forth. Right, there are certain processes which come into play when you go into the industry. So some of the people learn coding, right, in college, but then they realize when they go to the companies, they realize that coding is only 20%. There's a lot of other things which happen there. There are things like industry know-how, which could mean the industry know-how of IT industry itself or the industries that the company is working for. There are things like entrepreneurial traits that are expected, which is like initiative, doing things on your own, and so on and so forth. You're expected to have the domain knowledge. So basically, if there is an IT company which is doing a product for pharma, for example, you're expected to know things about pharma. There is corporate culture. There is certain way of doing things in corporate. There are etiquettes and so on and so forth. And they also expect you to know latest technologies. Now, whether you like it or not, most of the times, whatever you learn in the college is little outdated, and it is not necessarily college's fault, but I think changing a syllabus takes time, whereas the technology changes very, very fast, right? So just to give you an example, I would say around 4 or 5 years back, we were looking for Angular people, and we found it very, very difficult to find, get people who had Angular skills because there were none, in whole of India, essentially, right? And that time we were on Angular 1. And in 5 years, while there are a lot of people now who have learned Angular and things like that, Angular itself has evolved from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This version number of Angular is 8 already in last 5 years. Right, so that is how fast the technology is changing, right? And of course, most of the colleges don't even touch Angular at this point of time.
Uday,
right? So,
Uday, someone asked, what is Angular?
Oh, Angular is one of the programming languages. For front-end programming, Angular is one of the languages.